This is One-on-One. Rich Levao, president of Bloomfield College, is talking to us about some really important higher ed issues. Rich, good to see you again.
Pleasure.
Every time you're with us, you share some important information about higher ed. Real quick, the Future Bond Act, the Higher Ed Bond Act passed. A lot of people say, wait a minute, in New Jersey, I thought we were going to be cutting back on how much we borrowed. Why are we doing this at a time like this when we don't have the money? Why?
It's critically important for the future of our country. Consider yourself in the nature of a farmer who has a shortage in his budget. The one thing he cannot cut back on is seed for the next year. Investing in the future, in the development of our talent is critical to the future success of America and our culture.
What's the payoff?
The payoff is, well, let's talk about it in terms of hard numbers.
Sure.
The Federal Reserve Bank of New York has estimated that for every 1% increase in members of communities who have a college degree, there's a 2.6% increase in the gross domestic product in that community. That includes an increase in the salaries of people who never even go to college, because the college-educated people bring in higher-paying employers who pay for other kinds of jobs that don't require college degrees. So everybody benefits from a college degree. As a nation and as a state, we have trended in payments towards more consumption than we have for investment in the future. Alice Rivlin, who was one of the founders of the Federal Reserve Board, was a first member of the Office of Management and Budget Director, and also was a member of the Congressional Budget Office, now says that America invests 7.5 times as much money on citizens age 65 and older than it does citizens who are 18 and younger.
What does that say about our country?
What that says is that we are a humane society. We believe in helping people who need assistance, but it also says we're not paying attention to where we need to go 20, 30, 40 years from now.
Real quick, before we talk about some other really important issues, like the viability of liberal arts education, which is something we've talked offline about in a working group that we have with the Josh Weston and some others.
The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club, yes.
The Middle-Aged Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
and I'm being kind, the Middle-Aged Breakfast Club.
Yes, listen, come on, I'm in it. I'm glad to be in it. But I'm real curious, and I want to make sure that everyone does understand. The description, 30 seconds on Bloomfield College, give everyone a chance to know what it is.
Okay. It's started as a traditional liberal arts college, and it's brought in pre-professional programs as well. So we're classified as a comprehensive college. It includes the traditional liberal arts of political science and philosophy and religion and literature and the like, but also pre-professional programs such as nursing, business education, teacher education, creative arts and technology, which is the blending of computers and creative arts. It's about 2,300 students, and it includes an additional 1,500 students who come for certificate programs and job training and the like. So all told, we're about 4,000 learners.
Rich, at our Breakfast Club, we have some big thinkers, and we do talk about liberal arts education, the viability of it. And you and I said right before this segment's not long enough to be able to have a fuller discussion about it, but let's start it. We talk about the viability of liberal arts education. A lot of parents today say, hey, wait a minute. You taking 40, 50 grand from me or whatever it is to spend.
It's half that at Bloomfield College.
Yeah, I knew you were going to get that in. My son's going to Fordham. It's not half that.
No.
I know.
No.
And so my son is studying, as I said to you, religious studies and philosophy.
Right.
Liberal arts. Someone says, wait a minute. Get my kid ready for a job readiness. Where is the place, at least start the discussion, for liberal arts at those high prices, or any price?
First, I don't poo-poo pre-professional education. Students need to have jobs when they leave college. It's critically important. And indeed, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the latest statistics are that the unemployment rate for people with a college degree is half that of those without a college degree. So if the total, say it's an 8%, although in New Jersey it's higher, it's about 3 points higher than that from those without a college degree and 3 points lower than that for those with a college degree. So in terms of jobs, it's certainly there. But we're preparing the next generation to take leadership roles. I'll be a little bit downbeat for a second, if I may. The typical college student graduating now will be 22, 23 years old. That person can expect to live another 60 years. In the next 60 years, our society will see traumatic and wrenching changes, not only in terms of the makeup of the population and demographics, but the exhaustion of natural resources, climate change, desertification, shortage of drinking water, revolutions around the world, food shortages. These are the kinds of issues.
What does that have to do with liberal arts?
They need to understand how to keep a civil society and political democracy together, to understand change in context. For that, you need to understand history, you need to understand political science. You also need to develop the skills of critical thinking, so that those who would seize the imagination of the public by waving banners of chaos, of fear, and it's very easy to do if you've ever been part of a large group that turned into a mob, and that happened to me a few times back in the 60s. People without a separate source of information, knowledge, and context are easily led by those who would do harm. And if we're going to hold this great country together, the hundreds of years of political tradition and more than that, 300-400 years of Western intellectual tradition together, in very, very difficult times that I see coming up, we're going to need to have young people, men and women, who understand how important it is to stay rooted, to be rational, to develop humane and understanding systems of governance. Resources are going to grow more scarce. It's not going to help to be led by a group of button pushers or people who understand the techniques of government but don't understand the purpose of governance or any social, religious, ethical, and moral background and how humans should organize their affairs so that we have a planet worth living on.
And a solid liberal arts education can help one have such a foundation.
Absolutely. Even science and mathematics, I shouldn't say even, but including science and mathematics, yes. Rational thinking, evidence-based decision-making, understanding potential, understanding logical deduction. It includes areas of, most obviously, history and political science, in my view, sociology, psychology. Those are areas that are, to me, very, very important so that we can understand why people say the things they do, how you can look through the pitches that are being made to you. Vance Packard, 50 years ago, I think it was, wrote the book, The Hidden Persuaders. I keep forgetting how long ago it was. It was about 50 years ago.
But important.
The Hidden Persuaders.
Groundbreaking.
We're surrounded by hidden persuaders, and now they come to us on our computers. You know, I took a look at a couple of camera bags that I wanted to buy from Amazon. And every time I go onto a website, whether it is Gawker.com or whether it is the Chronicle of Higher Education, I get ads for camera bags now.
You're being persuaded.
I'm being persuaded at every moment about something. And that's whether I'm watching BBC or Fox News, you're being persuaded about something and you need to be able to step back and say, I understand the flow of history, I understand where they're coming from, I agree or disagree for these cogent reasons. Okay. Not that this person is an exciting, dynamic speaker, she must be right.
You meant BBC, Fox News, or PBS as well. I just wanted to include.
Especially PBS.
Exactly. Give me 45 seconds on college readiness.
College readiness is a growing problem. Surveys have demonstrated that what many high schools believe to be proper preparation for college is something different from what college faculty believe it to be. Many students come to colleges, and even very good colleges, even Ivy League colleges, not ready to do college level work, which is usually called 100 level or 101 level work. So the growth in the industry of the preparatory courses, the remedial courses, the academic foundation courses is a serious issue because it takes students away from their learning college level work. And their time starts to run out towards degree, and that means scholarship money starts to run out. It means they become discouraged because they're in class for too long a period of time and not accumulating credits for college. It's important that the K-12 be more closely articulated with the requirements of starting a college career than it is now.
Rich will follow up on that discussion as well on the liberal arts discussion. Thank you. Rich Levao, president of Bloomfield College, always giving us important things to think about. Appreciate it, Rich.
Thank you very much.
This is One-on-One. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship. PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. And by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C. Promotional support provided by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.